What else we got?
One more topic.
My phone's gonna die too.
Ugh, oh Jesus, is it plugged in?
No.
You want me to plug it in real quick?
No.
What percentage is it on?
I don't know.
Well, you didn't get the top up yet, so that's good.
As far as we know.
The last topic I have is I wrote ED and Royal Honey. This is something I really want to talk about because we saw a whole bunch. So ED, for anybody who don't know, because ED can mean eating disorder. I'm talking about erectile dysfunction. Something that this man here can't relate on because he works out, he eats right, and he's not an addict like some of you roaches out here.
You started that terrible.
What did I do?
That was a terrible intro into the topic.
What? I gotta brag on you, babe.
No, you should probably explain it first.
Demon. Anyway, yeah, I'll explain it. It's what it is. Erectile dysfunction. You have dysfunction, erecting. Right? Is that the term? You erect. So, obviously, it's a sad and sensitive topic for a lot of men, but usually the men that are sensitive about it have some type of underlying problem, or they're older. You know, usually people who suffer. They might have some type of genetic issue, or they're just age. But a lot of these men out here that are dealing with erectile dysfunction are young. I'm talking early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, 30s. You shouldn't be experiencing that at that age unless you have some type of underlying issue. And a lot of reasons these men are dealing with these things. Number one, I think drugs. Like a lot of these rappers love promoting this drug life, lean, this. Like, it's not a flex to be a druggie. I'm sorry, it's not a flex. And clearly, you can't even last. Like, you can't even get your meat up because you're a drug addict. I also think a lot of people have porn addictions, which that's probably a big issue for a lot of men. I think a lot of men, and you can speak to it since you're a man, that stuff messes you up. Like you said, you saw yourself when you were younger. Like, you watched a lot of that when you was in your teen years. You watched a lot of porn, but clearly it didn't mess you up. But it can, and you would recognize that, you know, right? Porn addiction. Like,
I wouldn't know.
What's the link? Like, what is it about porn addiction that you think creates that erectile dysfunction? Like, you think your penis just gets mutilated?
I know we talked about this before. Mutilated. I know we talked about this before. Like, this is one of those, it's kind of like almost like the depression conversation, because you can make those comments, but at the same time, you do have to make them with some sort of...
like mental health depression?
Yeah. Like,
we're actually going to talk about that next episode, because that 600 Breezy's ex-girlfriend. But I'm leaving that for next week. The
same way I'm talking about you personally, you specifically. Mm-hmm. The same way you talk about mental health, you also have to take some things with a grain of salt, because not everything, you know, right? It's like the eat healthy thing, but you can eat healthy and still get diabetes kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing even with ED. So, like, even if you're young, so part of it could be due to stuff like excessive porn or whatever, but there is also some natural reasons why you could be, like, literally just being nervous.
Yeah, that exactly. Like, you could just have sexual anxiety with being with women. You could have, and that's another thing too. You could be a victim of sexual assault, abuse. Yep. Yeah, so I definitely have grace for that stuff. I'm talking specifically about the druggies, but porn addicts.
You got to say it, because if you say
people.
If you're talking about people with ED, then you have to explain all of it.
No, yeah, I can explain all of it. And yeah, I definitely, that's why, you know, it's a sensitive topic to a lot of men, and I don't want to offend any man who might be listening who deal with those things. Like, I definitely don't.
The way you introduced it. So you started it crazy.
I'm so sorry. I just have, like, dark humor. But no, I definitely, want to start over, but, you know, I do have sympathy for men like that, like victims of assault or abuse, people who just shy and nervous, like that sucks, like, or people who, like I said, just have underlying disorders, like this disease out there, this DNA, it's genetics, you know. Last times it could just be genetics, it could just be you have weak muscles down there because of deformity. There's a lot of reasons, of course, but this is like the same thing when I say, like, when I shit on people who, like, are in bad places in life. Like, when I talk about people living with their parents and people making no money, when I say that, I'm not saying I don't have sympathy for people in a certain situation. When I judge in no situation. I'm judging people, like I said, who went to school with us, who had those same opportunities, were afford those same opportunities. Some people who were more privileged than we were, with parents with more money than us. That's what I'm judging, because you have no excuse. But it would be the same people that would be on Twitter making excuses, crying about inflation. I'm like, I seen you in school. You wasn't taking stuff seriously. You said accounting was boring. You make jokes about stuff. You was posting up your grades in classes that were much easier, but then you're not doing anything. So when I make those critiques, I'm critiquing a certain group of people. I'm talking about the privileged people who didn't take advantage.
You don't
of
need to tell me.
privilege.
You need to tell them. Don't
No, yeah, I'm saying that. I'm talking about privileged people who didn't take advantage of their privilege, who clown certain things, who bragged about grades that now, what did that do for you? That's who I'm judging. Judging people who talked down about stuff. But I had people talk stuff about accounting.
You're going too deep.
No, I'm saying, so that's the same thing with this ED conversation. I'm judging the druggies who think it's cool to be a drug addict. I'm talking about you unhealthy people who that's the link. I'm talking about those people. I'm talking about like the people who literally is sad. Like this, it's clear the issue. This royal honey thing it's like a new pandemic. Every time I open Twitter, there's making royal honey wings. And for anybody who knows, royal honey is like I would call it like a gas station sex pill, basically, that men are using in their drinks. They're mixing in their drinks. They're putting it in their food, or I think you could just eat it straight. And it's like basically helps you last longer, I guess, be aroused easier and stay up. And of course, there's a small section of those people who are just doing it because the internet's doing it. They just want to see what it does, you know? So not everybody who uses it, I think, got issues. But a lot of people definitely have issues, because even the fact that Key Glock had to get on the internet and say, "Oh, I don't use royal honey because my shit worked." Like, why is that even a flex? Like in 2022, men are bragging about that, because like there's definitely an issue with drugs, porn addiction, because people in the past might have not dealt with the porn addiction as heavily as men are now, because it wasn't as accessible. They had magazines, or they would just see women in the street and had to go home and envision them. You know, now you can open up your phone, you got OnlyFans, you can see girls that you've been following for years having sex, being naked. Like, it's a whole different world. And I think there's definitely probably if they did like a graph, there's probably definitely an uptick in ED among young men because of porn addiction and drugs, the rap and hip hop community promoting drugs, the rock and roll kind of want to just ostracize black people, because rock and roll people be talking about them drugs too. And a lot of country artists too. You gotta listen to these lyrics. They be talking about drugs too. And that rock and roll culture, definitely they be doing a lot of drugs. But like that lean, that stuff is not good for your meats, men. And it's kind of not, yeah. Well, you found the stats?
No, just keep talking. You don't have to look at me. Pay attention to me.
No, but yeah. So that's like I'm judging them. I'm judging the people who smoke all day, do lean, and then they eat McDonald's and they eat other whole bunch of unhealthy foods while they're high. Don't work out, never step foot in a gym, don't run, don't do nothing. Like, I'm judging them because it's like, it's not hard to be healthy and take care of your body. And like a lot of people, like I even saw something about people talking about vaping and how like this, they think there's gonna be a huge wave of people in our generations, like with cancers and stuff, later on in life. So it's like, it's just sad. It really is sad that young men in 2022 have to brag about the fact that they don't use royal honey, that they don't need it. You shouldn't need it. You're 22. You shouldn't need it. Like, you're in your prime of like your sexual life. And men, your prime's a lot longer than women. We have like a shorter window because of fertility and all that. Men can keep going for like forever, right? You produce sperm for your whole life. I only have a certain amount of eggs. So this royal honey thing is its own pandemic. The royal honey pandemic. That's what we're going to name this clip. The royal honey pandemic is the new pandemic. Because it's everywhere. Like, I shouldn't be seeing people making wings with this stuff. And I saw someone said they're going to baste their turkey with it. And someone was like, why do you want to do that around your family? Okay.
You know, people are just bored. Like, it's just one of those things. Like,
yeah.
Even people that don't even really care, they're just going to do it because obviously it leads to social media clicks. Mm-hmm. People don't even necessarily believe that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think a lot of people actually necessarily need it. I'm not going to put that accusation out there, but there's definitely, I think, a lot of people who do genuinely need it. And like, girls be like, yeah, I need to put this in my man's drink so he can last. I'm like, your man don't last. Like, am I living in an alternate universe? Because I'm the one who always try to end it because you will go forever if you wanted to. I'm dying. I'm sore. We needed to stop. You will keep. I don't think you ever really initiated us stopping having sex. Like, it's usually really me, whether I'm verbally saying it or non-verbally. Like, I'm usually the one that ends it. You would agree, right? You're just a different type of breed. I think something's actually wrong. Like, you might be your own case study. And like, obviously it helps that you're a very healthy person. You eat very healthy. You work out consistently. Like, you work out literally 6 days a week, 7 if you sometimes, probably plenty of times have did a whole full week. I'm not sure about your porn consumption. I don't really care about that. I know girls care. I don't care. It's not that deep, but clearly it's not disastrous where it's affecting your ability to, do what you do. And you don't do drugs. You don't even freaking smoke weed. Like, you barely drink. So, like, we just live very healthy lifestyles. And, like, this is so simple, it seems like. Unless you have, like I said, unless you have some underlying issue. It just seems so simple. Like I said, I think something's wrong with you, though. Because you have, like, a different caliber of, like, lasting.
That guy had a nice rollie.
Stop looking at rollies. Like, you go for hours if you want to. Like, I think our average session, what would you say our average session is? I would say 30 minutes.
I don't take stats.
I mean, sometimes I'd be looking at the clock, like, and I'd be like, I need a break. Especially if you at work. I'd be looking over at the clock and I'd be like, we started at like 1:15 and it's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock, it's 2 a.m. You're just crazy, babe. You're crazy. I said I want shorter sessions because I am fragile. But I'm glad you don't have that issue. Are you glad you don't have that issue? You don't need no raw honey. That's the sad part too. Like, even like, why don't even people even have like shouldn't you want to have sex with your girl? Like, why do you need raw honey to give you a spark? I mean, I guess people want to be on that demon time, but like, you should just have that natural demon time in you. But like I said, I think a lot of these things suppress that in these people, Mm-hmm. I want Alcatraz to win. I know that's not his name, but that's what it looks like. But anyway. Yeah. You have any, babe, you need to speak on this topic. You're a man. I want to hear what you had to think from a man, you had to say from a man's perspective.
Well, one thing that you should probably learn on a podcast, if you stop talking, then maybe the other person will speak. Oh, almost like every episode.
I know.
Let me talk for 30 minutes and then say, what do you think?
Think by now I would learn. Because it should just be a conversation. But you could butt in. It's a conversation.
I shouldn't have to jump in.
But this is how we talk regularly. A podcast is not a performance. It's like we're talking like, we're pretending there's none of this here. And this is how we talk in real life.
It is here.
Okay, but this is how we talk in real life. You just jut in. Is that the right word? Jut in? Like, what's the word? You know what I mean? Like, when you input yourself in? Mm-hmm. I don't think jut is the word. Mm-hmm. Butt in. Is that the right word? Yeah. We're having a conversation. It doesn't need to be me saying a speech. Just cut it whenever you want to cut it and say what you gotta say.
That's not how a conversation should go.
A casual conversation
should not require somebody to jump in and cut somebody off.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
So, what do you have to say? Like, what do you think? Because you don't deal with this, but do you agree?
Yeah, you said that like 5 times. Thank you. I got it. Like, there's no bragging here.
It is bragging.
It's not. That's just normal.
It is normal. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In 2022, it don't seem normal. Like, that's what I'm saying. We're in a world where men got to brag about that now. Like,
I don't know. I really don't have a comment. Like, you probably just shouldn't do those things. I think I think people in general should probably just limit the things that they consume overall, because everything that we do is excessive, right? Like, if you watch TV, you probably watch it excessively. If you are on your phone, you probably use your phone excessively. If you drink soda, you probably drink it excessively.
Yeah.
If you eat unhealthy, you probably eat unhealthy excessively. So I just think in general, people should just not do people should just limit everything that they do. Because, like, I think people, like, even with just the way people just eat just to eat.
Exactly. Like, you're not even hungry. Like, why are you eating?
you shouldn't be eating something just because it's there. Like
Yeah.
you should legitimately be hungry.
That's why snacking is like literally says like the danger of society. 'Cause people would
Like-
be like, "Ooh, chips, ooh, candy."
Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say on this topic. Really,
I know it's not like I mean,
I got
there's
nothing.
really nothing like not much to say. Like it's
I think people should just avoid taking any sort of
a non-FDA approved
just don't be stupid.
gas station pill. That's another thing too. Like the effects of this royal honey stuff could actually be bad. Like that's something that's like we should talk about that too.
And for like what you're getting out of it, like it's almost like the equivalent of like drinking alcohol. Like it's kind of stupid because the sacrifice you're making and the impact you're putting on your body for the short term benefit is not worth it.
It's not worth it at all. It's sad.
But if you just like do all those things that because we already had this conversation, just do all those things, like stretch. Like I'm sure if you saw a guy trying to do a split, you would probably think that he was gay. I don't know how those things correlate, but
nowadays,
if you try to stretch or do like typically feminine workouts, like when you work out your legs, if you do those sorts of things, it increases blood flow. Like if you've never done those things, your veins and capillaries and arteries are probably so tight and clogged
that's why
up.
a lot of people by the time they're like in their 60s
Can't
need
even walk.
walkers, canes. Like you shouldn't be 60 needing a cane. I feel like
No, you shouldn't.
you shouldn't. Yeah, you shouldn't really need those things until you're like. Sometimes you don't need those things at all. My great grandma, she died when she was like 88. Never was in a wheelchair. Never was in a cane. None of that stuff. Like she was very like active. Like she was strong. Like she would give you handshakes and we would be like, ow. Like she was very strong and healthy. Like you realistically shouldn't need those things until maybe you're like just deteriorating as a human, like naturally, like in your 90s. You know, why you 60 with a cane with a limp? Okay, that was me. But it's like, come on, like these things are avoidable. So many things about life are avoidable. Our human bodies are meant to work in a specific way. Your penis is supposed to get hard so you can have sex. Like that's just how our bodies work. And if you do the things like eat right, exercise, and treat your body with love and care, like those things are gonna naturally work the way they're supposed to. Like everything is a system in our bodies. We're a machine. Machines can't run without oil or all the proper maintenance. So you're shocked that you can't get hard after you swallow a whole bunch of Xanax and pills all day? Like, don't be shocked. Why are you surprised? So, but I do think, like you said, a lot of this royal honey stuff is trolling. A lot of it is people trying to be funny. So, not all.
After you just made it a whole deep topic for
It's not a deep topic. No, I'm saying, but for the root of it, it's not. Like people probably, laughing at the tweets, but they laughing knowing that they about to go to the store and buy it because they need it. Because no man's gonna admit on the internet that they can't get hard, so they try to make it seem trendy or cute or funny. Like, oh yeah, I'm using this stuff to enhance it. No, you're not using it to enhance it. You probably need it. It's like just if men are able to admit those things more often.
Don't answer this because I don't want to talk about this topic anymore. But somebody got to explain what exactly it enhances, because it's not like you're gonna grow like 20 inches.
Well, they said something
I
that's
said don't answer it.
Oh, no, but I could give you an answer. Like they said something, a product in the royal honey is using Viagra, so it just makes so it gets up and makes so it stays up. Because lots of things men can't stay up. It'll turn into a worm halfway through. Embarrassing. So they needed to stay up too, because it's not even strong enough to do it.
Why not just take Viagra then?
Because I think that Viagra has such a stigma to it.
Or Cialis.
Because I think it has such a stigma to it, so people be embarrassed to say, I'm on Viagra. But I also think you might not even you might be able to get approved.
But if this has this in it, how is this not the same thing?
Isn't Viagra prescription?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people don't want,
but
people don't even go to the doctors. People are not going to go get a prescription. They don't even go to a doctor. Not because they don't want to sit and tell their doctor that I have a hard problem getting hard. So they'll skip that and go and get the gas station pills.
There's a whole website, and I forget what it's called, but you can order pills like that discreetly mailed to your door. I forget what it's called.
But don't you still need a prescription?
I don't know if you need it for Viagra, but you might. But even if you do, they have doctors that work at that place to diagnose you online or something like that. what is it called? And then the funny part is, it was a guy that had ED that made it because he wanted to be able to buy these things discreetly, and he was also young. Is also young.
But a lot of people don't know these things also too.
What's the name of it? I'll try to help y'all out. I don't know the name of it for a reason, but I do know it exists.
At the end of the day, though, I think a lot of, and like, you know, I hate stereotyping our people, but a lot of, like, you know, a lot of our people in certain communities and stuff are, you know, not that educated, and so they might not do that research.
I think it's called Roman, actually.
I think it is. Yeah. I actually think I've seen a commercial about it. Damn, this guy is crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not gonna Google it. I don't want those type of cookies. It's gonna start.
You're gonna get ads at work.
I'm gonna get YouTube ads. I'm like,
you're gonna be scrolling on Instagram at work, and people are probably gonna be like, "Why has got Roman ads pop it up?" Like, yeah, don't look it up. But I definitely think that's what it's called. But yeah, like I said, I feel like our people are just, no offense, a lot of them are not. You know, they're not gonna take that steps to learn those things. So what's a quick fix? You go to the gas station, that stuff is sitting right there. You know, you're going to go get your roll up anyway, your roll, whatever they call it. You see it, oh, give me one of them roll honeys. Like, that's just how our people are, unfortunately, in certain communities. And it's not just a black issue, but I speak on black things because I'm black. So obviously I'm going to talk about black people. But, yeah. Sad. It's sad. If you really need it, use it. But I'm personally not using it over the counter. Like they try to promote the cat. It's like some type of cat pill. I think a pink cat. Something. I think it's called like pink cat. It's like a gas station pill for a woman to use. Like, I'm not using no gas station pill. Like, you guys I go to doctors and I get prescriptions for things I need. I'm not buying no gas station pills. Like,
I'm not getting prescriptions and I'm not taking any supplements.
Yeah,
or anything.
Like, that's the thing too. People are so reliant, so quick to be like, I need a quick fix, I need supplements, I need this. Like, no, don't. You don't need.
All right, I do.
Oh, you called me out. Oh,
thank you guys for watching. This has been the A Couple of Things podcast, where we talk about a couple of things.
Let me redeem myself.
We are out of here.
I only take them when I really need them. No. You're not going to end this. I only take them because I really need them sometimes. Okay. My headaches are bad sometimes.
It was 1 a.m, and I'm sure that people don't want to hear us talking.
I'm going to drink more water.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
See how you try to expose me? I don't like that.